standing for the England national anthem led by a star. And if you are seated in the East Stand, please raise your red and white card now.
Martin Johnson said before the game, just stand there, face it, and the whistle will blow a couple of minutes later and the game will be on. So, the haka. All in readiness. Referee Roland signals time on, and the clash between the All Blacks and England is underway, and the All Blacks a little untidy at kick-off time, but it fell for Kevin Mialamu. Now Cowan gets it off to Carter, and this is straight down the middle where Dallin Armitage waits. Muliaina has anticipated it well, and he can drill it from inside his 22. Again, though, not finding the touchline. And across now it goes to Ugo Monya, the left winger. Muliaina has drifted into midfield, claims it again, and breaks the first tackle cleverly. And England stop him around about the 10-metre line, All Black territory. Cowan for Carter. Long cut-out pass here to Smith, and he's got an opportunity here, Conrad Smith, as he glides away downfield. Fair bit of space down there, and it's 10-metre line of England territory. Carter again has it. Now Tony Woodcock goes head-to-head with his opposite number, Tim Payne. The All Blacks getting a good early feel of it, but they've collapsed over the top. And the first penalty goes to England.
Well, quality rugby to start this game. Pretty much copybook from New Zealand, everything good. It did look a little scrappy to kick off, but I think it was Rokethoko jumping in front, almost like a shield.
Oh, that's a poor kick by Flood. Nicely controlled by Sivi Vatu. And he's got good distance on his kick here. England drifting back off after it. And, oh, that's a wobbly kick too from Armitage. So an untidy start by the boys in white.
Without doubt, untidy start, but not the boys in black. They've found space already. They've moved the ball. The defence, of course, of England was very good. They nailed Woodcock. They've obviously been watching videos, analysing the decoy runners. So four-man line out again with all those players out on the back line. Can Williams win it cleanly?
Mialamu. Tipped by Williams, untidy, very untidy.
Well, the answer was no. They were up for it. Someone getting a hand to it. Let's see. just. Yeah, in fact, that was almost knocked forward. And then they got the bounce, England. So once again, same setup.
Well, the All Blacks getting no favours early on from Alain Roland. Now England with the ball in hand for the first time, and they hit it the ruck hard. Ball coming for Danny Kerr. Not a good pass, but Flood does well to reach in. Jamie Noon is met at the advantage line. Kerr again. Now Flood works it on for Flutie. And that well-educated left boot of Ricky Flutie's. We know all about that. And England go to line out, but it will be All Black ball.
Oh, this is abrasive stuff. That's head on head. I don't know how Rodney Soyalo is. He's down there, stunned.
Full line out this time from the All Blacks.
Well, a bit of pressure coming on at line out time.
Beautifully taken by Soyalo. He quite often has been plan B. Now the kick by Jimmy Cowan. It looked to come forward from Richie McCaw. Yes, it did. He's complaining perhaps that wasn't the case.
Well, he took it, and it might have been knocked out of his hand, actually. But there was outstanding play. Soyalo at the front of the line out, ripped it out of the air. McCaw takes it.
New Zealand. There's the mark here. Come up, please, England. Crouch.
Still inside the first 5 minutes of the game. No score.
Touch.
Danny Kerr as the scrum goes down. And Nick Easter takes off, but the referee has just said we'll reset.
Come in closer. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage. In the middle now.
Well, not everybody was down and bound there. Well, I think if you'd had a quick look at the England scrum, you would have found that a couple of players weren't actually bound at all. But he's got McCaw for coming round, and here's an opportunity for Toby Flood to open the scoring.
Well, he got McCaw for coming round, but the ball was out, and he was allowed to detach. The scrum had turned. It's all a timing thing.
No, he doesn't waste any time, Flood. He's got the ball down. The All Blacks, a lot of them still got their backs to him. Pulled it. So first opportunity goes astray. No score. 6 minutes gone at Twickenham.
Well, how much confidence that could have given England. They will take a bit of hope, though, from the early set pieces. Firstly, they got that free kick at the line-out. Obviously, they've looked at the tape of the matches earlier on. They think maybe the All Blacks might be delaying, so they'll put pressure on there, and also the early penalty from a scrum.
Here they are, moving the ball across the line, and then hoisted high by Armitage, quite close to the touchline. And it bounces off. In fact, it was Ugo Monya, the left winger. Quite a bit of inexperience. Monya here has only had 3 caps. So's Armitage, the fullback. So too Ricky Flutie in midfield.
Well, they've got plenty of pace on the outside, haven't they? Not sure whether they're going to give them the ball, though. That's what we'll have to see as it transpires.
Line out thrown deep. It has been grabbed by McCaw, but he knocked it on. He regathered, but he did knock it on.
The gap is too big. I want you closer. There's your mark.
Well, the rub of the green going England's way clearly at the moment.
Not a bad scrum, holding up nicely. Easter gets it off to Kerr. Runners coming from all different directions. Jamie Noon taken in a classic tackle by Conrad Smith, and the All Blacks get a penalty as England seal the ball off.
Sounded surprised, Lisbon. Well, it's sort of bounced against him, hasn't it, so far? The decisions have been against New Zealand, so a welcome relief, I would imagine.
It was a great tackle by Conrad Smith, showing tremendous speed to get up off the line, make the tackle, and really the All Blacks had the offensive position from that point on. Now they get a real chance to have a crack inside the 22, but they've got to get their line out sorted out.
Yes, he's so strong defensively, Conrad Smith. And Jamie Noon had nowhere to go.
So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. There they are. They desperately need to win this one.
Mialamu goes deep. Tipped by Williams. Falls nicely for Cowan. Carter on for Thorne. Wasn't sure whether to pass it or not. Got halfway through and decided not to. England have turned them.
Well, it was great defence, England. Absolutely wonderful defence. They spotted Thorne, that they didn't fall for the decoys. It was going to Thorne all the way. They saw it and they took him ball and all.
So Flood looking for the touchline. And he gets an ironic cheer from the crowd. This time puts it out.
Well, it was good ball, Williams. Nothing wrong with the timing. It was just the defence that was good. He came up very quick, that player. So first line out England, full line out.
Lee Mears. Kennedy's a big, tall man. Good line out ball. Now Flood. Flood looking to go through. Well taken though by McCaw. Kerr gives it off to Mears as hooker. England in a good attacking area here. Now goes across to Flutie, looking to jink his way through. Still working the blind side is Danny Kerr. Good stuff here from England as Easter drives down to within 10 metres of the line. Now looking for quick turnover ball. Now they sling it wide. 5 metres away. Kerr for Flood. Now Flutie takes on Carter head on, and Carter puts him away and gets the penalty. Top class tackling and defence from Dan Carter.
Oh, it was magnificent. It was more than Carter though. There were 4 players there. Flutie was drilled to the deck, but then it was the men over the top that did the damage, and they kept their feet. McCaw was there first, and I think Nonu as well. Well, England looking powerful, very powerful, up front. I guess that's the only place they're going to play for a while.
Well, the temptation to have a go proved too much for Ricky Flutie. He certainly had opportunities away to his left, went for the gap. Brilliant play by Carter, though.
Just over 10 minutes gone at Twickenham. No score. Here he goes again. This time England encroaching across the line. Taken by Williams. Sends it wide for Jerome Kano. As the All Blacks get almost to the halfway line. Cowan had to sell the dummy. England were up too quickly. Now it's snapped up by Tialata. Works it across for Carter. Carter in heavy traffic. Ball will still be there though for Jimmy Cowan. Pops a little kick in behind. Nicely done by Armitage. He didn't really have much option. So So'ialo has to go back after this. Quickly got it away to Williams. And the big lock forward. If he bounces it out, he's done a great job. He hasn't got it out though. Now it's with Ugo Monya. And the left winger runs smack into Tialata and Woodcock. Tialata getting rucked. But the penalty's not for that. It's for England hanging on to the ball.
Well, some classic rugby there. It was an outstanding kick by Jimmy Cowan. Armitage couldn't get to it, but the fly kick was successful. And then Ali Williams, well, tell me about that. What a kick. 1 foot from the side, or less than a foot from the sideline. This is the end of it, of course, where Tialata got the old-fashioned treatment at the back of the ruck.
Yes, you don't see that very often.
Well, it was interesting to read this week John Wells, the England assistant coach, talking about we've got to stop bodies piling up on rugby and bring back rucking. Hallelujah.
Yeah, agreed. Kevin Mialamu. Still no score as Soialo used again.
Quality possession.
Cowan clears it off to Carter. Now Nonu looking to get on the outside and does so. Broke 2 tackles. Got away from both Flutie and Noon. Now it's with Rokothoko. Quick hands, lovely work. Now Muliaina. Chance here for Sivivatu. All Blacks first really good attacking option here as it goes to McCaw. Couldn't hang on initially, but the referee's calling them back and he wants to have a chat here. He's not happy about something. It's an England player.
Oh, outstanding skills.
You kick that ball out of the mud when it's nothing to do when you're on the ground. You're going to be going somewhere else. Understood? Okay. Marcus here.
It's a penalty against Danny Kerr. I think he lashed at the ball when he was on the ground.
Well, New Zealand, sleight of hand in the back line. Conrad Smith, catch and pass in the same movement.
Behind the line.
Muliaina. Ah, beautiful to watch. So Nonu, this is where he pushed off one. Slipped the second, just lost his foot a bit, which was a shame because he's so good at keeping his feet there. And then following that, the ball was just moved superbly. Look at this. Free space. Muliaina. Sivivatu on the outside. Well, great start, New Zealand.
Yes, you saw the boot, the left boot of Danny Kerr, and that was cynical play. And referee Roland had a chat and also gave the penalty. Dan Carter's first kick. It's wobbly, but it's good. It didn't look that good off the boot, but it's done the job. 3 points to 0.
Yes, it kept ominously low as well, which was a surprise. There is a little bit of a breeze, Tony, isn't there, coming from that corner?
Oh, you look up above the roof of the stadium and there is a flutter on the flags, and it probably was a left to right breeze way up high as Carter was looking at it, but really Murray down at ground level, no.
15 minutes gone first half. Williams, he lost it, but it fell nicely for Kevin Mialamu. So the All Blacks have this one. Jimmy Cowan away for Carter. They come rushing at him. He gets not a great deal of distance. Smith goes up after it. No one has controlled it. And the referee waiting to see what happened. It was a knock on in the end by the All Blacks. Carter didn't get any distance at all there, and that was a result of pressure.
Yes, the ball was up for all takers. I think Conrad Smith was the closest, but it bounced cleanly, and then McCaw desperately trying to get underneath it.
Well, they're trying to put pressure on him, aren't they? They see that as the key.
Don't step.
Well, of course it is the key. In rugby, put pressure on the first 5-8, the whole game can change.
Kerr feeds the scrum. Immediate penalty, and he's across on the far side, so you've got to presume it's Tony Woodcock that he's not happy with.
You'd love to know what it was for, though.
Oh dear.
Well, he didn't have the bind up, did he?
Has to be said that Vickery didn't look terribly secure either, but nevertheless, referees tend to want to sort the scrums out early. Now here's Toby Flood again. He's got the ball planted, wasting no time at all. This one looks better.
Well, 10 penalties against New Zealand so far in this game, and 6 against England. So we've got 16 penalties after 16 minutes.
Penalty kick by number 10, Toby Flood.
Dan Carter. Oh, hesitation amongst the England players. In the end, it fell favourably Although halfback Kerr is under a fair bit of pressure. Just out from the 22. They've got some good value out of the driving forward play so far. Kerr makes the kick himself. Sivivatu waits. Immediately across to Muliaina. Armitage. Big tall fellow at fullback, and he's got a good raking punt on him too. But he's overcooked it.
England's kicking game so far has been poor. It really has. They're kicking the ball way too deep to give their chasers any sort of chance of getting after it. They're not really getting the ball into space.
Talk about judgment, because that's a hard ball to judge when you're running the same direction as the ball. Very, very tough.
In the middle.
Coming up to the 19-minute mark in the first half. Penalty apiece. Mialamu again goes deep. Williams nicely off the top. All Blacks making ground through the middle. Here goes Ali Williams again. Inside the 22. Quick ball for Cowan. Now Carter. Flat for Thorne. And the All Blacks take it to the midfield, set up and get penalised again.
Well, there's a lot of people paid a lot of money to come to this game today. They're not going to get much of a spectacle if the whistle keeps going at this rate.
Michael Lipman there holding on to Brad Thorne for whatever reason.
Come here, please. Time out, please. Look, whistle was well done. Leave him alone. Don't retaliate. Excuse me. Leave him alone and don't move. Touch him.
Oh dear. A friendly pat on the side of the face, and it's cost 10 metres.
Yeah, well, you'd have to say, though, he shouldn't have done it, Thorpe, because Lippman was the guy in the gun. Lippman was the guy that was in the wrong. Everyone knew it. Everyone's been saying, why are they playing Lippman ahead of Reese? He's their best open side. Maybe he's trying to create issues.
So England back on attack. Lee Mears deflected nicely by Kennedy. Now Flood off to Paul Saki. England have done well to recycle Flood, pushing it hard through again, but not quite such a good kick. He was looking, I think, to put it into touch near the goal line. Danny Cipriani looking on. No doubt see him in the second half.
Which way is he going? He's looking both sides. Eventually right. There's just two players there, England.
Nicely taken by Nick Kennedy. Be the tallest man on the park. Easter flings it off to Flood. Ball snapped up by England. Ali Williams has to make the tackle. Now Kerr. Flood again. Flutie. Flat pass. Nicely taken by Armitage. England going okay. 10 metres out from the 22. Kerr goes again. Now Lee Mears, the hooker. All Blacks haven't conceded a try in the test matches on this tour. Flutie holds it up. Now it's with Saki. Taken in the tackle of Carter as the All Blacks continue to make their tackles. Kerr. Now Flood again for Easter. Kerr off to Flood. Again the little hooker. Lee Mears just really didn't have the pace. And the All Blacks shut him down big time. And that's 10 metres for the All Blacks this time as Kerr throws the ball away.
9 phases, England putting together. Doing it well, keeping possession well, throwing their power That's what they've got. They've got sheer physical power. They're using it right from that kickoff.
Well, what they're doing so much better than what they were doing last week, Murray, is they're cleaning out at ruck and maul time. The players getting there, driving over the ball and leaving better possession behind for them to have a recycle.
Have a look at that take there. That is a classic take. Nick Kennedy right from the kickoff.
Just his second test match, Nick Kennedy, in replacing Tom Palmer. But that's where the penalty came, and the All Blacks now have an opportunity. Nicely deflected by Kano. Good clean ball. Carter. Thorne has to tidy up, but the All Blacks lose their momentum somewhat. Now they change direction. Flat pass. Kano again. Jimmy Cowan
Advantage, slowing it down.
can't get the ball back because it's an England hand holding it, and it'll be a penalty. And now he wants to have a chat. Oh, is he reaching? Yep, yellow card, just like that.
Well, no mucking around. I mean, right from the start of this game, he's been bit whistle happy. But there's a bit of edge, isn't there? You feel a bit of an edge there, especially coming from the English forwards. You see clearly here. So Cowan unable to clear the ball.
Just a few spots of rain falling as Carter's attempting this shot at goal, fellas. Hopefully it's not going to be too bad.
I mean, that was ridiculous when I re-looked at that replay. He was on his knees and out on the New Zealand side of the ruck, picking up the ball.
Didn't strike the first one terribly well, Dan Carter. Well, that wasn't even close. But England now have to play the next 10 minutes with 14 players. Jonah Lomu looks on. Boy, he made an impact over the years on this very ground, didn't he? As the kickoff goes down to Richie McCaw, off to Muliaina, looking to step his way through. Just in England territory. Quick ball there for Carter. Now Williams. 10 metres. On the England side of halfway, Jimmy Cowan looking to cut through up the middle. Now Tialata.
Oh, a good play this.
Looking to cash in on the 14 players. Bit of a loose pass, but it didn't go to ground.
Good play, good ball. 4 phases, 5 phases.
Now Carter for Muliaina. Again, not too many gaps in that midfield.
Feet. Hands out wide.
Jimmy Cowan again. Very good defence. England's defence outstanding so far. Cowan, another penalty. Same thing, pretty much. Conrad Smith takes it quickly, but the referee's having a yarn with one of the players.
Time out. Listen to me, all right? I'll get the benefit of the doubt first. Hold you forward. No, I'm talking to him as well, all right? In the blue, in the red zone, I don't want anybody slowing the ball down, okay? I want fast ball when you're defending, okay? Don't get in the way. That's all I need to talk to, all right? Excuse me. Now listen to me. Excuse me, I'm not finished with you, right? Now listen to me. You gave away a penalty here, he should have gone. He went, and you have a number 9 just after diving over. He should go. Now, you either sort it out, or you're going to give me no options, okay? Have a word with them. I'm going to give you time to talk to them now, okay? Time is off.
Well, he's pledged to sort it out.
But if I was him, I would, because he clearly said you can't dive over a ruck and field the ball.
Well, it takes us back to that game, what was it, 2005? But Alan Lewis was, well, allegedly in control. He kept sin-binning All Blacks. England will have to watch. They might follow suit here.
Kick from a similar position here for Dan Carter. Let's see whether he learned from the previous. No problems this time. So Carter lands his second penalty goal, and the All Blacks back in front, 6 points to 3.
Well, some good balls, some good phases here. Well, there it is, the penalty. But the All Blacks starting to look like they're getting free ball, clean ball, quick ball. Just threatening a bit, just the beginnings.
Flood restarts. Mialamu waits. And Kevin Mialamu fires the pass over to Joe Rokafoko. Hasn't seen much ball so far. Very good tackle by Tim Payne, the loose head prop. Now Thorne on for Carter. Again, it's high. Armitage waiting. Almost had too long to wait, really.
Yeah, the line was up slow, actually.
Care now for Flood. Again, hoisting high. Muliaina time the jump. Beautifully done.
Oh, he's so good at that.
Now, can he get it back? There it is for Cowan. Slings it off to Carter. Flat. But they've been anticipating it. Flutie. Oh, not sure who it touched first.
Well, Flutie wasn't really awake to it. He wasn't watching the ball. He was too busy watching Rokafoko. I tell you what, if he grabbed it, it was all for him.
Here we go. They took a quick one. England. And off goes Flood. Chased by Rokafoko. Took a fair bit of putting down. In fact, they haven't yet. Good, strong run by the number 10. Now it goes to Easter. Runs into McCaw and Kano together. England playing with 14 men. Now Kerr. Back for Flood to have a drop kick. Well, it's well astray. Lucky to reach the goal line. And it'll be a 22 dropout.
But they're in the position to score points, aren't they? They're putting themselves in position. They're contesting. They're putting the pressure on. And they are creating an opportunity just here and there. Only with the boot, I will say.
Well, the drop kick, a bit of a trademark of England number 10s. I think ordinarily you would have said, why bother with a drop kick there? But when you're down to 14 men, any points will do. Long dropout, nicely fielded by Paul Saki. Now Dallin Armitage. That's a better kick. It's got more depth. Carter waits. Lined up by Flood, but he got away from him easily. And the All Blacks get it quickly. Now Williams lobs the pass off to Rokafoko, but it's too big.
Well, they're a stern challenge, England. And when you look at history, they are by far the hardest team for the All Blacks to win against. And they've proved it 6 times. They've beaten New Zealand. And the other 3 home countries, of course. The last win collectively was 1953.
Yes, well, of course, Scotland and Ireland never have. And as you say, Wales back in 53. But England have been a regular stumbling block. Kennedy brings it down. Not tidy ball. Now here's Haskell in the white headgear. Delivers it off to Kerr. Flood. Again looking to step. McCaw hangs on to him, though. They're trying to wrestle the ball off him.
I'll tell you what, that's on New Zealand side, yes. He was turning the tackle, exactly.
Guys, I'll just take you back a few minutes. After that last shot at goal by Daniel Carter, there was an announcement over the PA asking the crowd not to boo the opposition kickers. Certainly Dan Carter would have felt a lot different to what it was in Ireland. Let's see if the crowd take any notice.
Yes.
Yeah, sure, Tony.
Exactly. One for the billboards, I think.
I mean, it's a nice thought. I don't think they've got the same manners, quite frankly, as we saw at Croke Park. And once again, down in Limerick, it was sensational, wasn't it? An example to behold.
Well, talking to Stephen Donald, he reckons sometimes it was almost more unnerving than booing.
9 minutes remaining till half-time. England down to 14 with Lee Mears off, as Williams is unchallenged. Cowan away for Carter. Thorne gets hit hard in midfield. Now Tialata. All Blacks looking to get something going. They really have been a second half team on this tour. Now Carter fires the dummy and almost got through. 10-metre line in England territory. Bit untidy, but Cowan snaps it up. Comes across. Now he lobs the pass. Muliaina did very well to hang on. And what do we got here? They blew the whistle quickly. Oh, and he's got Haskell for using an elbow. Another one goes west, down to 13. Shades of 2003 in Wellington when England played a bit of the game there with 13 men. So Wilf Haskell went in with an elbow and he's been marched temporarily. Yeah, and Rodney Soyalo reacted immediately. So it's a little bit niggly. Whether that's a tactic to try and unnerve the All Blacks.
I will deal with whatever I can, right? Listen, but I don't want you guys going looking for stuff that isn't there. At the same time.
It was a wonderful drive too, New Zealand. Muliaina kept his head down, kept his legs pumping and gathered momentum from behind. I think Nonu was in the forefront there.
Carter's kick. Oh, he's dragged another one. He's very disappointed with himself, Dan Carter. Opportunities have gone astray, and the All Blacks still ahead by just the 3, 6 points to 3. Mia's due to come back shortly, so they'll be back to 14 at least.
Well, they're buying a bit of time, and you can sort of understand why. Well, it is disappointing for Carter to miss that one. 3 would have been handy.
Soyalo awaits the 22 dropout, sends it off to Carter. Muliaina to chase onto this. Armitage goes early. Muliaina knocked it forward though, and they'll put a scrum down.
Well, Lee Mears is about to come out onto the field, and believe it or not, there hasn't been a scrum since he went off.
Well, that's the offence. Clearly taking out one of the All Blacks. No intention of driving on.
It'll still be a 7-man scrum, of course, unless they put a back in there. I think Jamie Noon, in fact, is across on the far side to make it an 8-man scrum.
Excuse me, All Blacks. Yep. You take better pressure to that, please, when the hit comes on. Thank you. Here we are. Here's your mark. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Gaze.
He doesn't exactly look at home there, does he?
Well, there's a bit of a psychological battle going on here in that front row as well.
Time off, please.
And remember, this is England ball.
Excuse me.
So New Zealand will be wanting to disrupt, destabilise.
Time is on, please. Here's your mark. Crouch.
They're actually achieving that too at the moment, as long as they don't give away a penalty, I guess.
So Kerr puts it in. All Blacks put the heat on straight away and get the penalty.
Big scrum though, wasn't it magnificent?
Boy, there's been some penalties in this first half, and another one coming from the scrum, and surely Dan Carter here, pretty much out in front of the 22, can give the All Blacks a 6-point advantage.
Well, now it's flashed up on the scoreboard. Fair play and respect. Please don't boo while the opposition are kicking a goal. Let's have a listen.
Well, an incredible 30 short arm and full arm penalties so far in this game.
That's more like it. Another penalty goal for Carter. 9 points to 3. The All Blacks in front, and about 3.5 remaining till half-time.
Well, it was a great response, actually. I must compliment the crowd on that.
Flood's kickoff is fielded by Kevin Mialamu, and the All Black hooker takes it into the setup. Cowan to Carter, keeps it fairly low this time. Flood off to Saki, who wasn't expecting it, did well to hang on to it. Meantime, England have Phil Vickery in back play, not looking at all flash. Another penalty, goodness me, this time use of the hands. Now Phil Vickery, I think he tried to tackle Kevin Mialamu, and he was very wobbly for a moment, but he's regaining his composure.
I will put another 4 in the bin. Is that understood?
And this time the penalty goes against Paul Saki for using his hands in the ruck.
Well, the problem there was that Saki got drilled to the deck and he was turned. New Zealand were over the ball. Bees round the honeypot, it looked like to me. And I thought the ball was coming Cowan's way, and all of a sudden it didn't, and I guess that's what the referee's about.
Oh, Vickery's not looking too flash. There's a cut around the ear. Kevin Mialamu, he took that kick off and he absolutely went like a rocket at the England oncoming players. And Vickery's the man who'll tell the tale. Discipline has been a real problem. It's all very well being fired up for a test match, but you've got to keep your discipline. In England, it's let them down.
Yes, Mialamu is a handful when he gets low like that to stop.
Dan Carter again. And that's another good strike. 4 penalty goals now for Carter. And the All Blacks starting to establish a good break as we have a look. Saki didn't expect the pass, and that he rather languidly took it up.
See, he's turned there, and New Zealand over the top. That's good play.
Flood's kickoff. This is an action replay with Mialamu. This time he slips out of the tackle of Nick Kennedy, and a good strong run by Kevin Mialamu. Cowan back for Carter, putting pressure on this time, Kerr, but Carter's got good distance. Now Flood not using Saki on this occasion. This one's going to land. Nobody's going to catch this. But the All Blacks have tipped it back nicely for Cowan, but he was a bit slow. And England have got a chance here with Phil Vickery. He's playing an advantage for a knock-on. Now Kerr away for Flood. Flutie targeted by Mialamu as the All Blacks drive in low and hard. Kerr again for Flood. Lobs it out into midfield where Vickery's standing. And not really all that effective running in the centres, Phil Vickery.
Yeah, they've turned it over.
Turn him over very quickly. Cowan, long one across to Woodcock. Now, didn't give the pass. Probably could have got rid of it a little quicker than he did. He's got the arm out now. He's trying to push England back. Cowan again for Carter. Props. And on the right boot, Monya. For Flood. Chased by Rocafoko, who did nicely, but didn't beat McCaw. And again, the All Blacks get numbers.
Well, it was well held up, England, under real pressure there.
Right on half-time. England might be happy enough to boot this out, but they're going to let play continue as it goes down for Carter, immediately finding Muliaina. Now Sivivatu in a little bit of space. Tried to get the pass off, couldn't do so. Ball still there. Now snapped up by Nonu. This could open up. Nonu fired the pass and fired it well in front of Tony Woodcock. And that, in fact, is the last act of the first half. It's been intriguing, that is for sure. It's been somewhat dominated by the whistle, but the All Blacks lead at the break by 12-3. So the referee's got the all clear, and we can get the second half underway. Dan Carter, and he goes short. McCaw puts them all onside, but it's nicely claimed up the middle by Armitage. And he got his pass off too. Here's a great start for England. And an opportunity here. Just had his ankle, tipped. Did Kennedy, but they've still got an opportunity here, England. Kerr looking for somebody. It's with Mears. And now the All Blacks on desperate defence here as they just dropped their guard in the first 20 seconds. Crowd roaring as England will try and advance this through the middle for a start off anyway. All Blacks cutting them down, but it's 5 metres away. Remember, they're playing with 14 men. Looking to score a try, a rarity against the All Blacks on this entire tour. Getting ever closer. Good effort there by Thorne. Referee holding the All Blacks back even further. No thought at the moment, England using their backs. Now they're starting to find out a little bit. Maybe a change of tactics here. Just take it a little wider of the ruck if they can. Kerr reaching in. Hands it off. They make a little bit of extra ground. Now, slinging it wide. Saki. Good tackle by Nonu. He didn't hang on to him, but he made the initial tackle. And the All Blacks might have driven over the top here. No, there's the ball on the England side still. Now they've lost it. And away come the All Blacks on the counter-attack with Jimmy Cowan. He's looking for Rokethoko. Oh, head high. Bad head high by Toby Flood. That'll be yellow. That'll be another yellow. That's a shocker.
Well, strong defence, New Zealand. It looked inevitable that England would score when they broke away. They were just a clean pair of heels, got clipped. And then New Zealand regathered. I thought England were a bit slow in freeing that ball. And then they just tried to mow down New Zealand, bully their way over. They weren't able. That's the end of it. High tackle, you'll see it clearly.
Well, they're almost playing team tag here, England, because Flood almost tagged Haskell back onto the park. So it seemed determined to play this game with 14 men.
Well, Nesbo, a couple of things about that. Firstly, there weren't enough players in support when England had a great opportunity to attack or to finish off the break and score a try. Once the All Blacks had their defence set, it was terrific defence from the All Blacks, and they hustled and they bustled England until they get the turnover. But boy, what an important passage in the match. That might have been a try then, and England would have considered themselves right back in it. But really, their support play let them down when the chance was at the greatest.
3 yellow cards to England in this game. Untidy for Cowan. Oh, he did really well. No, he fired it off, but now Mears knocks it on. Referee will play advantage here, see if the All Blacks can come up with something. McCaw gets it wide to Smith. Conrad Smith gliding past a couple and freed the arms up. Got it off to Mills Muliaina. And the All Blacks hoe into this one. 5 metres on the England side of halfway. Back it comes again for Carter. A change of direction, but then not a good kick. Easily taken by Monia. But he kicks aimlessly downfield too, Carter. And he can time his kick and to perfection as normal. And they'll go to a line out on the 22.
Well, great piece of rugby. Ball wasn't so good from the line out, I will say. Cowan under enormous pressure. I thought he'd pulled it off. This is where the ball was when they ran free. Just the ankle tap there, and Easter thought he was in. Easter nearly thought it was Christmas.
I think it was Muliaina who just clipped his ankles.
Electric start to the second half as Nick Kennedy rises high again. He's been the chief ball winner for England in this game. Kerr is going to have to take this back inside the 22. Sivivatu waits. Players sprawling in all directions. Sivivatu puts the little kick into no man's land. Armitage got a good bounce. He really set that opportunity up early in the second half. Now Kerr away for Kennedy, and the big lock puts his boot to the ball. Trapped by Sivivatu. He turns and puts the kick in. Now this will be interesting. If this stays in, Saki against Sivivatu, but neither of them win the race.
Well, it was a man on man, wasn't it? Sivivatu somehow kept the ball alive. So close to the touchline. Saki's pretty quick. Sivivatu had a bit of a head start there. Have a little look at this. He regathered, the kick over the top, and off he goes. I suppose they started pretty much the same. Sivivatu had a little bit of acceleration, but top speed looks like Saki might have it.
Well, the game's come alive. 40 minutes of penalties. Boy, we've had more action in the first couple of minutes than the whole first half.
Again, Kennedy goes up.
Ooh, I'll tell you what, Thorne nearly got that. It was good ball in the end, England.
England with 14 men, remember. Nobody to really clear it from the line. Halfback will have to do it himself. There's no depth. No one standing in the in-goal area to make a clearing kick.
Don't be in front, you're offside.
Sivivatu waits again. Across to Muliaina. Sivivatu. Nice pass to Rokafoko as the All Blacks go smack down the middle again. Another one that looked suspiciously high. Now they work the blind side through Tony Woodcock. Thorne trying to keep him in the field of play. Touch judge didn't have the flag up, so away goes Danny Kerr. Wide it goes to Flutie. And his kick is not out yet. Sivivatu. Good strength. Looking for someone to give it to. And in the end, it's knocked on by the All Blacks.
Well, good pressure, England. New Zealand trying to get away, make play.
Very careful. Listen to me. Very careful.
Well, complaints here of an early tackle on McCaw.
Just good following up. Yes, it looked a tad early, perhaps.
Yeah, and I think he's given them the benefit of the doubt, and also he's had a word with Danny Kerr about that. No arms at all.
Well, the crowd are in good voice. England 9 points down and 14 players on the field at the moment.
Oh, there's a contest.
Penalty. Now Flood's not there. So who's the goal kicker?
Well, it might be Ricky Flutie.
Straight down. I want to have a word with number 5, please. I want number 5, please. Time out, please. Why are you getting involved in something that has absolutely nothing to do with you? Excuse me. Okay? Do it again. That's where you're going. Thank you. What was wrong with it? Straight down. Now let's go.
So it was a retaliation, I guess, didn't have anything to do with Williams, is what he's suggesting. But this would be a great victory for England, actually, if they could kick a goal with having one man down in the touch in the sin bin.
So the goal kicker is Dallin Armitage, whose sole points in Test rugby are a drop goal.
Spectators, one of the core values of rugby union is respect for the opposition. Please show respect for the kickers of both sides as they prepare to convert tries or kick penalties. Thank you.
Well, important kick in the scheme of things.
Nice kick.
Yes, it was a great kick. Showed the temperament for international rugby. Dylan Armitage learned his trade in France.
First, second half points conceded on this attempt at the Grand Slam by the All Blacks.
Carter's restart. Waiting for it is Borthwick, the captain. Coming slowly for Kerr, but again, he'll have to kick himself. Remember that Flood is off the field. Well, he's found a penalty there. And it looks like it's against Michael Lipman.
I think he's got him for standing in front of the hindmost feet in that guard dog or pillar position that made an unwelcome return to rugby this year.
Well, he learned his trade in Australia, Lipman. Played for Australia under-19s, under-21s.
Amazing to think, though, that we've got 125, nearly 130 minutes of second half rugby since the All Blacks arrived in Edinburgh.
If you tell him I got it wrong, well then fine, we'll talk about it afterwards. But at the same time,
And that's the first points they've conceded in the second half of any of the games.
Be nice to get them back right now.
Well, Dan Carter this season alone has scored 197 test points, so this could make it 200 and restore the All Blacks lead to 9. Oh, he's scraped the posts. Not a vintage day with the boot at all by Dan Carter. 12-6 England.
Conditions getting awkward out there now too. It's really just drizzle, not heavy rain anymore. But it's going to be difficult.
Rokafoko fires it in field for McCaw. The All Black skipper right on halfway. Now Cowan for Williams. Looking to slip past the first tackle. Does so. Cowan again. Ball there for Muliaina. England's defence. Quite outstanding so far. Cowan works it away for Carter. Nonu stepping, but 3 of them take him to ground. Carter going. Carter now. Couldn't link up. Ball jolted free in the tackle. Well, just a moment of magic from Dan Carter. He just couldn't find the support.
Off his left foot, and that fend, that trademark fend of his, the punch. Yes, there was a moment he could have possibly got the pass away. It was about here. No, not here. Yeah, it might have been. Hard to see on that angle. There were 2 players, one on each side. Perhaps not totally clear.
Phil Vickery's been in the wars today a wee bit.
Well, second half, Wayne Smith clearly said, play a bit of territory. We know the spaces are there, still out wide, but we've got to get the quick ball for that. So they're doing that. They're playing territory, no doubt about that.
Looks like Vickery's going to be sent to the sideline.
Yeah, England warming up and bringing on Matt Stevens, the man from Bath in 17. A lot of people felt Stevens should have been in the starting 15.
It looks like Vickery might be gone for the day, judging by the exchange of pleasantries between the two as they passed each other. Scrum fed. Easter lowered by McCaw, lays it back for Kerr. Muliaina waits. No real pressure on him at all. Gets the opportunity to return the kick. Armitage having to scramble across. Rokafoko got there in a hurry. Got away to Easter, but England still have possession just out from their own 22. Kerr slings the pass for Flutie. Keeps it low. Mills Muliaina. Dabs the little kick in behind. Nicely controlled by Monia.
Good play.
Now Armitage. Carter's waited back. Plenty of time for Carter. And he sees some wide open spaces. That's a clever kick.
Drills it.
That's a very clever kick. England getting forced into the corner. And that's straight off the side of the boot. Advantage New Zealand for sure.
Well, a little to and fro between the two teams. Some accurate rugby, though, from both sides. A little bit wayward the kicking from England, I will say, and that gave Carter the chance.
Back to 15 men, England, with Flood back on the park.
Anybody's game on the scoreboard. They got out of it, England, so far.
Well, the All Blacks preparing to make some substitutions too. Tell you about them in a moment.
Mealamu goes down the back for Williams. Offloads to Cowan. Quickly across for Kano. Good attacking position here. Cowan. Away for Carter. Cowan again gets the call from Ali Williams as they keep it going to the far side, and again a penalty at the ruck. Not a great deal of continuity in this game because the referee is so tough in that area.
Well, I think he was acknowledging the English player who was prone over the top and on his feet, clearly on his feet.
He's got a decent boot on him, Toby Flood. He's made a good touch from that kick, and the All Blacks making two changes. On comes Kieran Reid in 19, John Afoa in 17, and it's Jerome Kano leaving for Reid and Naimir Tialata for Afoa.
And also coming off number 3, Naimir Tialata.
Well, those two players have plenty of movement around the track, so is it a signal that the All Blacks are going to pick up the pace?
Reid has to make a tackle immediately on Matt Stevens as Flood goes for a run. England still very much in this game. Kerr, here's Stevens again. Full of running. The prop forward. Kerr. Oh, it's been knocked on by Lipman. There's Matt Stevens.
Well, he's done well, Stevens, since he's been on. He earned the penalty down the other end, and it was genuine.
So some new personnel in the All Black scrum. John Afoa across on the far side. So'ialo hands it off to Jimmy. Cowan makes a good bust. Now he gets the pass off to Nonu. Nonu running strongly. Looking to line up Reid. Still going Martin Nonu. 10 metres away, looking for quick ball, and they get it too. And ball knocked on.
Well, outstanding plays. So'ialo, Cowan, scrum. Put Cowan slightly on the outside. Look at this of his man. Strong enough to get through. Held so long. Tunonu was right off his shoulder. Running strong, powerful. Just looking for a man, couldn't find it in the end, had a go, put his head down, that was quick ball. If they got it free here, it was try time, no doubt about it. There was one player, 7 metres to go.
England under the pump a little here as their scrum goes to ground. 17 gone in the second half, 12-6. The All Blacks have played trialist tests here before. I remember in 1993.
Michael Lipman making way on the side of the scrum for Tom Rees in 19.
It was quite a surprise anyway that Rees wasn't in the original 15.
Well, they picked a tough team.
Now Kerr gets it in. All Black scrum driving England. Ball is loose. Here's Smith. Gives it off to Nonu. Here's an opportunity. Roka Thoko. Mills Bully Aina. There's the try. Off an England scrum, the All Blacks score.
Well, I saw Steve Hansen trying to not look excited, but that was outstanding. That's two passages of play now, both times from set play. This time it was England's ball, and the New Zealand scrum demoralised, destroyed, in fact, England. The pressure came, the ball was spun, they did everything right. What a try this is. Have a look at the replay. Cowan flicks it. Smith brought it back. Nonu around the outside. The pass, beautiful, an outside break. Man to spare.
And the man getting the pats on the back on the All Black bench, not one of the players, but the guru, the scrum coach, Mike Cron. He'll be thrilled with that.
So try number 23 in Test matches for Mills, Muliaina, and now Dan Carter. Well, it's not his day today. So it stays 17 points to 6. 20 minutes remaining.
Well, you need those points ready to get you out clear psychologically, particularly. A try by England would put them right back in the game.
The restart, all men in front, that was obvious.
Yeah, you picked a bad day to do that, really, didn't you? He's not going to miss a trick, Alan Roland.
Martin Johnson will be very disappointed with the discipline in all sorts of areas here.
Well, I think that Martin Johnson understands it. His team had to impose himself on this game. He's got a hard physical approach. It's clear by the way all their players are playing. If they're going to keep this game, give themselves any chance, they had to unsettle. And as Tony said, even comments in the media during the week about the intention of bringing that physical side back into the game.
Change at halfback for England, Murray. Harry Ellis on in 20, the man from the Leicester Tigers, replacing Danny Kerr, who, as we saw early on the year, is a slippery customer. Maybe he just hasn't run enough at the All Black defence this afternoon.
Behind 9!
Pops back for Cowan. Carter. Armitage having to run. Again, gets a pretty useful balance, but it's been snapped up by Cowan. Taken by Easter. But the All Blacks should get this in a favourable position, as McCaw has to settle it once again. Going to work this near side with Sivi Vatu. Oh, another penalty. And against Nick Easter, and he knew it too. He knew it.
Are you trying to kill yourself here or what?
The balls are off
Listen,
my feet.
look, I'm very dangerous ground here, okay? I'm trying to work, but you're giving me no options, okay? Any more of that crap and they're gone. All right, sort it out.
He got his defence in pretty quickly. That's on target. And those are the 200 points in the season for Dan Carter. But more importantly, the All Blacks now have a 20-6 lead.
Well, those two faces there would also feel relieved, as Dan Carter does. Graham Henry wants more.
Still plenty of time remaining. 17.5 minutes. McCaw drilled by Haskell. Good tackle. Just waited till he landed. Now Jimmy Cowan for Dan Carter, and again good distance on the kick. Armitage, who's looked good at fullback, looks like a real athlete, this fellow, decides to have a run, sends it off to Saki, upended by Sivi Vatu, and the ball there for Harry Ellis. Drive by Tom Rees in the 19 jersey. All Blacks getting numbers there, plenty of them.
Tell you what, where's the ball? It's on England's side, but they're having to pull two more players in to clear it.
So'alo and Williams together. Now Ellis goes wide. Haskell, who owes the team a bit. And hello, another penalty.
Yeah, that was McCaw.
And off goes Jimmy Cowan.
Well,
wasn't able to make a great deal of progress.
Cowan was impeded before he'd gone 5 there. England are lucky they haven't got another bloke in the bin.
Here's Kieran Reid, and he's gone very quickly for a scrum here.
Yeah, that last penalty at the breakdown, Nisbo, wasn't so much about England committing an offence. It was just brilliant play by McCaw. And talking of brilliant, how good has Jimmy Cowan been?
Oh, he's had one of his big ones. I tell you what, he's a guy that's good under the furnace, though. He's so tough and gritty. It's a bit loose, that pass, but it came off big time.
Here's the try, which broke the deadlock. Cowan feeds the scrum. Soialo feeding Cowan, and plenty of space out there on the blind side, and off he goes again, the little fella from Southland, having a top game. Now it's freed up for Reid, and off goes Kieran Reid. All Blacks starting to find some holes. Now Williams works it across to Carter, gets the call back on the inside from Muliaina. Cowan digging in.
Well, might be turned over here.
No, there it is. John Afo sends it wide to McCaw. Now Carter looks to push his way through, halfway through the gap. Now Mialamu to Williams. Taken at a good tackle by Haskell. Tony Woodcock.
Well, they're lifting up the tempo, New Zealand.
They've still got it. Cowan again. Carter shows it. Then kicks wide. Beautiful work. Muliaina. Another one coming up. Oh, what a kick.
What a kick. Miraculous. The kick pass. The execution to a T. There'd be people shaking their head saying, how can you do that? Well, watch the replay. Very rarely do you see the first 5-8 kick to the centre. Back running in the centre position. It's normally a little wider out to the wing, who drifts wide of his man, but that time outstanding. There's a man to burn here too. Look at this, just a little nudge into the arm with a winger to burn.
Well, they're finishing very strongly, as they have done in all the test matches on tour. 25-6. Classic, absolutely classic.
$13 minutes to go, and I'm sure they'll want to keep the ante up.
Carter's kick. Not this time, and England making some more changes.
Yeah, on comes Dylan Hartley in 16 from the Northampton Saints, but of course a product of Rotorua Boys High. Tom Croft, the replacement lock, coming on. So Mears goes off, and the other man coming off is Nick Easter, the number 8.
No,
looks like Anthony Borrett's not too far away for the All Blacks.
Flood restarts. Claimed by Thorne.
Back around 19, get back.
Cowan kicks again. Armitage running across, and no, I think he's just missed it. There was a little bit of debate there. Armitage pointing. Touch judge took a while to make the call, but he did say that it hit the line on the full.
Well, a couple of New Zealanders on there. Dylan.
Yeah, a couple of New Zealanders. There's a South African.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? There's a couple of New Zealand players from Tiati College, that great rugby college, one on each side of the field. Did you pick that one up, Tony?
Ball tipped on the England side. It's been snapped up by Carter. Now here's Nonu. Miss out pass, beautifully done. Muliaina gives Sivivado a bit of space. Now the race is on. Muliaina's got too much pace. He could have a hat-trick here. Ball is loose. England, I reckon Jimmy Cowan might have scored it now. Let's see what happens.
I don't know if it was grounded.
Let's see what the story is. The referee, no, he's made a call already. He says England forced it.
Well, it'll be very interesting. I thought the bounce, beaten by the bounce. We don't know whether that's over the line. Oh, yes, that hand's enough.
Yep,
That's all you
enough.
need.
Yep.
No, I was referring to Ricky Flutie in the English side. And Piri Wipu, although he's not on the field at the moment.
Oh, that's why I didn't get it, Murray. Brad Thorne's just left the field to be replaced by Anthony Borich, and Conrad Smith coming off, replaced by Isaiah Toyava in 22. Borich wearing 18 for the All Blacks.
So it's Jimmy Cowan's feed.
Well, All Black scrum continuing to put the heat on.
11 minutes left.
England, come forward. Come forward. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Solialo has an air shot. Didn't get the pass away. And England have got it. Here's Haskell. Now Ellis to Flood. Flutie having a run. Got past Carter. But got dragged in a good tackle in the end. England looking for a little flamboyance as Stevens got driven back in the tackle of Mialamu. And in the end they had to kick. And he's done pretty well. Oh, I think he's out there, yep. He's done a good job.
In his lackadaisical manner.
Yes. England looking to go quickly here.
Well, Murray, now we do have, as we just watched this little moment here, yeah, his foot was in touch when he touched the ball. Now we do have two ex-pupils of Te Aute College on the field. Piri Wipu is on for Jimmy Cowan, who has been one of the All Blacks' best this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely.
And really, what a season he's had.
Well, he has.
Big year in the life of this fellow.
Yep. Got to stand by your men, Tony. There are a few out there that didn't.
So England line out throw for Dylan Hartley. Now Ellis for Flood. Here's Saki, who almost got through. Not held, but now he goes down 10 metres on the All Blacks side of halfway. Ellis. All Blacks have certainly had to make a lot of tackles in this game, but so far no tries conceded in the internationals. Ellis again. Now Flood. Noon. All Blacks having to chase back. Muliaina got his kick off for Monya. Ten out from the 22.
Might be a turnover there, I think.
England looking. No, they've got it again. Now here's Hartley. All Blacks trying to rip the ball away, but not able to do so. Ellis gets the call from Tim Payne. Holding it a little bit high, which might cost him. It will. All Blacks have it, and here they come again. Mialamu got his pass off beautifully. Now Nonu up the middle. Nonu, can he make it? He's going to make it. Smiles all round.
Well, Smith was right. There is space out wide if you get quick ball. That was the most superb ball you could get. The turnover, they moved it quickly. They found space. Mialamu, outstanding, running like a first 5'8". He's had a blinder today. What a game, in fact, in every area. And then he gave it to this man, Nonu. Well, he's got a habit of scoring tries. All those doubters have been proved wrong. He is the man in the midfield, Nonu, and this is the final act.
Well, it was Ali Williams who got in there. He was the man who affected the turnover, and this is just brilliant.
Yes, and have a look at the little swan dive in the pool afterwards.
Nonu, a try at Croke Park, a try at the Millennium Stadium, and now a try at Twickenham. Kevin Mialamu, lovely pass. Sivi Batu, and sets Nonu off. chased diligently by Tom Croft.
I'll tell you what, Tom Croft showed good speed.
32 points to 6. It's really opening up now as the ball is lost forward by the All Blacks from the kickoff. Well,
You know,
once again, they had to battle through a first half, but they've just come away now.
well, England probably a better performance, but it's turning into exactly what they didn't want. Another heavy defeat. Still 6.5 minutes to go. 32-6 down.
The All Blacks will be conscious now of keeping their line intact if they can. Haskell taps it. Throws the pass, and it's an intercept. And off it goes to Sivi Vatu. He needs some support. Just couldn't quite get the legs pumping. It's there for Wepu. Sends it wide for Carter. A long miss-out pass. Nonu tips it on beautifully for Rokethoko. No-look pass. Williams tried to pick it up and knocked it on. So the All Blacks enjoying themselves a little bit here.
Well, I think that the smile shows it, but I think that's one thing that is evident with the side, and Wayne Smith once again said at half-time there's plenty of steel here, because you've got to have look at that intercept. Beautiful. They could have almost got away there, not quite, but you've got to have the steel. You've got to have the confidence to continue to attack when you're under pressure, the composure to work your way through it and just make those decisions, not get rattled. And that's what this team can do so well, and they certainly have lifted it in every half they've played on tour. They've lifted the tempo, and the opposition hasn't been able to keep up, quite frankly.
Well, Danny Cipriani comes on 21. He's not replacing Toby Flood. He's actually replacing Jamie Noon, so presumably Flood moves into the centres, where he's probably more at home, to be fair to him.
Well, he's something of a pin-up boy in English rugby. Is Cipriani. He'll be around for a long time.
I think he might move from the front door to the back door, though, this week.
Don't go before the engage. On the head, you take the pressure, and we get it steady before we walk with it. Thank you.
5 minutes left on this All Black tour.
There you are. Crouch.
Grand Slam well and truly in the bag. 32 points to 6.
Touch, pause, gauge.
Ellis, All Black scrum. England retreating. Haskell does pretty well, but McCaw got him on the second go. And the reward for perseverance as the All Blacks turn it over. Carter, good hands. Carter looking for a gap. And again prepared to battle his way upfield. And another penalty.
And another card. And looks like Tom Rees is the man to go.
All Blacks won a scrum. Well, England, what's that, 4 yellow cards, so they played 40 minutes, half the game, with 14 players. Just under 3 minutes left as Wepu feeds. Yes, they do go right. Wepu looking to step his way through. Ball dislodged in the tackle. Referee playing an advantage. It's messy, and England will need to put their own scrum down here. The All Blacks might fancy walking over the top of it.
The ball was not quite right from that scrum. I could see they were using the extra man, Wepu being the extra man, but the ball, the pass was no good.
81,180.
So pleased to see creation of space from scrum moves.
England scrum holds up well. Haskell dragged round the ankles by McCaw, who snaps the ball up. He was the tackler.
Who threw the ball away? They thought they had it.
Well, he was the tackler too.
And there was no one else there. I mean, it was general play, surely. So the game meandering along to its conclusion.
Somewhere in the crowd there's someone with a brass band or a trumpet, and they're trying to get the crowd singing Swing Low, but they just don't want to know about it now, and it sounds rather mournful, a bit like a funeral dirge.
The All Blacks looking to hold England out for the last minute of the game, and it will be remarkable if they can do so. Here's Sivivatu, Flutie charging in on him. Sivivatu got support from Richie McCaw, and the All Blacks might produce something right at the end here. Muliaina for Toiava. Toiava running hard, slips it off to Rokethoko, and the game opening right up here. Rokethoko forward pass. Soialo just overran him slightly.
Well, pretty to watch. Well, the most remarkable one was McCaw. How did he get back to link with Sivivatu? Well, it looked like a try, didn't it? Just got out, crowded themselves a little bit. Sivivatu,
Boy,
Rokethoko coming back through.
was that forward?
Please, come up, please. Press. Touch. Pause. Get.
One of the last scrums. The All Blacks, they're going to win it? No. Whistle is gone.
Came straight out of the tunnel.
And he said it didn't come out the right part of the scrum. And in fact, he blows the whistle, does Alain Rolands. And the All Blacks have won here at Twickenham. They've completed their 3rd Grand Slam. And it's been convincing today. They struggled a wee bit in the first half. They led by 12-3. But 3 second-half tries have done the damage. And the All Blacks victorious. 32 points to 6.
Yes, and total vindication of Graham Henry and his coaching team. The reinstatement after the disappointments of last year. They have been comprehensive. They've finished this tour emphatically with no doubt at all that they have a clean team that wants to play for them. And they finished going away here tonight, and it was a stern test. There was no room for anything but real commitment, real determination, and ability to play together as a team and finish the deal, and they did that. They nailed it firmly to the wall.
Well, they did, and of course Dan Carter didn't have one of his happiest nights with his boot, and it could have been an even bigger victory. England in many ways were their own worst enemies. They conceded 4 yellow cards throughout the game and endless penalties as well. So that's the end of a long season for the All Blacks, and it could be the start of a long season for Steve Borthwood and the England team. Just thanking the referee for his contribution. But the All Blacks scored those 3 second-half tries. Muliaina got 2 of them, and Ma'anonu got the other. So we're just standing by for
Miles, thank you very much indeed. Richie, many
Richie
congratulations. Was the scoreboard, do you think, a fair reflection of New Zealand's superiority today?
Well, I think in the end, we, especially the last 20 minutes, we were playing the game we wanted, and you know, but for a couple of mistakes, there may have been a couple more. So yeah, we're very happy with what happened in the end.
We've seen some very dominant second 40s from New Zealand on this tour. Maybe we should have the half-time team talk before you start the game.
Yeah, it'd be easier to say that, but you know, a lot of what happens in the second half is a result of the play we do in the first half, and you know, we see what's going to work and what's not, and then you know, it's an 80-minute game, so you're going to play for the whole lot, and that's what we've done on this tour.
Did you feel the game turned around the hour mark with the scrum where Tony Woodcock put England under pressure?
Yeah, we you know, that's a big indicator of set piece and defence, and we held them out down on our own line and got a turnover, and you know, that can be the difference. And we felt like the game came after that, and we were able to put some real pressure on.
It's not the first time the All Blacks have notched up a Grand Slam in the autumn series on their autumn tour. First time you've done it, though, without conceding a try, Richie. I spoke to Graham Henry before the game and said, is that significant? Is that something you'll treasure? He wasn't too sure it was. How do you feel about it as a player?
It indicates the attitude and what's you know, the heart of the team, really, defence. And you know, it's through defence tonight that we scored a lot of tries. So half the game you haven't got the ball. So yeah, it's what wins games sometimes. And Test match rugby, it's especially important.
Another trophy for you to collect. Why don't you go and get it, Richie? Thanks a lot. Okay.
Yes, the trophy, of course, is the Hillary Shield after Sir Edmund Hillary. And I'm sure Richie McCaw will proudly accept the trophy. It's the first match for this Hillary Shield. So the All Blacks
Thank you very much. James, fair play to New Zealand, but did England hand them that victory to some extent today?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, we were penalised quite a lot. We can't afford to have that against a quality side like New Zealand. I think at times, again, the scoreline, you know, is pretty flattering to the opposition. When I think a lot of times we were good, you know.
15 penalties England conceded, 8 of them kickable, 4 sin bins. Any gripes with the refereeing?
No, look, at this level, you know, you've got to play to the referee, you've got to play to his interpretations. We didn't do that today, and it's very disappointing.
Is it all the more disappointing since we had all these problems against Australia 2 weeks ago?
I think, yeah, you know, listen, I think these 4 games, we tried to do ourselves justice and keep the ball rolling. Obviously, it's going slower than we want to, but there are positives. I'm going to keep my head up and just keep sticking together.
How excited were you getting, James, right after the start of the second half when Nick Easter broke through? A lot of passion from England, a lot of get-go. Did you feel that the game could have been there for the taking?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, listen, if anyone is watching at home, anyone who cares about England, we have the passion, we have the ability to do this. It's down to execution and ruthlessness, and that will come. I'd say stick with us, and we're going to turn these results over very shortly.
How long do we have to stick with you, James? How long do you think it'll take?
Well, you're a keen fan, mate. As long as it takes, you know, when you're building something new, it takes time, but we have got the ability, we have got the talent, and we've got the belief to do it.
Thank you, James.
So that was James Haskell, and we're now standing by for the presentation of the Hillary Shield by Lady Hillary. And so let's hand over now to the official presentation area, and it won't be too long before Richie McCaw takes the All Blacks up.
How do you think her cheek is?
It really is a lovely trophy, and it'll be one for the All Blacks to take home with them on the plane tomorrow. Steve Tew on the left there, and Graham Henry in a real triumph really this year for them. They came under a lot of flack, we all know that, when Henry was reappointed, but 15 test matches later, 13 wins. The only losses coming in Dunedin against South Africa and Sydney against Australia. It really has been a comprehensive bounce back by the All Black team and their selectors and coaches.
And they've grown as a team as well. They've just got better and better, and I think there's more to come. I mean, that's the marvellous thing. Wonderful young group of men in this team.
And Graham Henry making the point, of course, during the week that a lot of players come to this part of the world. It doesn't seemingly weaken the All Black team at all. What it probably does is weaken the teams over this end of the world. We'll wait and see. Anyway, here's Richie McCaw now, captain of the All Blacks with Lady Hillary. So it really is a job well done by the All Blacks. Of 2008, they've completed their third Grand Slam after 1978 and 2005. Not only have they completed the Grand Slam, they have not conceded a try in any of the 4 internationals. Quite remarkable. And the All Blacks showing once again they are a dominant force in world rugby. And now they'll take the Hillary Shield on a circuit of the ground. They'll be acknowledged by not only the All Black supporters, but a goodly number of English supporters have stayed here as well. Okay, let's hear from the victorious coach tonight, Graham Henry. He's with Tony Johnson.
Well, Coach, congratulations. A Grand Slam. You must be feeling wrapped.
Oh, outstanding. Now the second half, guys played. They just warmed around the first half and came through in the second. Had a great tour. Been wonderful, very enjoyable. Some top rugby. I'm delighted.
It's very much been the formula of the Slam, hasn't it? You've ridden out, toughed it out in the first half and then really expressed yourself in the second.
Yeah, they're difficult teams to play. They kill the ball and it's got very physical. And we just had to be patient and build the game, and the guys did that in the second half. Great.
Murray made the comment that this team has grown. This team has grown this year.
Well, it has, and it's got some more growing to do, I think. But they show a lot of backbone, a lot of guts. They're hanging there, and they just keep working until things work for them, till things break for them. So they're a very special group.
And after everything that's happened in the last 12 months, I mean, what does it mean to you, the record that you've achieved this year?
Well, I think New Zealanders should be very proud of this team, quite frankly.
What about you?
Well, I'm very pleased, delighted. I just think it's good for the people who appointed us as 3 selectors. There was a bit of anti from the media about that, and I think it just a thank you to them, and thanks for sticking by us.
There's been some speculation about the future of the trio. Are you hoping that this time next year it'll still be Hansen, Henry and Smith?
Who knows?
Not necessarily in that order.
We'll have to wait and see.
Okay. Cheers. Congratulations, Graham.
Thanks very much.
And in the finish, up goes the Hillary Trophy. The first match. And the All Blacks are the holders. All right, Dan Carter, we won't see him in Super 14 next year, but we're going to see him right now with Tony.
Yeah, I guess it's fitting we end with you, Dan, because it's going to be the last time you're playing the jersey of a New Zealand team for a wee while. So firstly, congratulations on the Slam. It must feel pretty good in the All Black dressing room right now. Yeah, definitely. It's a great achievement, and I'm very fortunate to be part of 2 Grand Slam wins. So. This win out here today and this tour means a lot, and it's just a great way to end. Yeah, it was typical of most of the games. Really good attack in the second half, but the defence has been outstanding. What's been the key to that? Just self-belief. We've got some pretty big hitters in the side, and they're really getting good line speed and shut them down. And we really pride ourselves on our defence. That's our attitude, and it's 4 games to. Not have a try scored against us is a great achievement. Probably came the closest of all today. Yeah, they almost got one, didn't they? They did, yeah. Luckily, Mills just got a wee ankle tap there because, it was definitely an under the sticks if you didn't. What about your own game today? I mean, you controlled possession really well. Kicking was a little sort of bit up and down a goal and that sort of thing. I mean, what was going on out there? Yeah, we really wanted to play a big territory game. I thought we did that reasonably well. My goal kicking was awful. I just lost all my rhythm, and it was one of those days to try and forget. But that's something that I got to work on. Lucky enough, the players around me were playing extremely well, and it didn't come down to my awful kicking. Mate, what's worse, kicking in dead silence like you did in Ireland, or kicking with the crowd sort of booing and what have you? Yeah, they're quite different actually, but it doesn't matter either way, but as long as they go over, and unfortunately they didn't tonight. Well, it's a happy end though for the team, to a really important year. Of course, you look forward to France now. Is that something that you've tried to sort of put out of the mind, but you can look forward to now, your experience in France? Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to that challenge. I'll really celebrate the success we've had, with the All Blacks this year with my teammates, and then move down to the south of France and reshift my focus. I think it's come at a good time. I'm after some change, and I'm really looking forward to it. I guess though, with all things considered, it's turned out to be a pretty good year, huh?
definitely. It's a great season, you know, a lot of new faces, and to have the success that we've had and the trophies has been phenomenal, so it's been a great year.
Okay, Dan, well, congratulations on that. Best of luck in France with Perpignan. We'll be following your action on the rugby channel, and good luck with that, eh?
Cheers, thanks a lot.
Okay.
Cheers, cool.
Yes, we'll miss him during Super 14 next year, but of course he will be back in the black jersey midway through next season.
Coverage of England versus the All Blacks was proudly brought to you by GJ Gardner.